Come on, Burnley. Smash the like button. Come on, Burnley. Nah, that's the whole thing. And we know Burnley ain't doing again. Nonetheless, smash the like button, subscribe, join the conversation. Big up everyone in it.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on. As the big man, the Arsenal legend Ian Wright just said there, people deluded, I'm back again. Big up the Twitch gang. Make sure you subscribe with Amazon Prime. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night. Do me a favor, subscribe if you haven't, join the conversation, and make sure you're smashing the like button. Let's boost the algorithm. Now, how we doing, Arsenal fans? Big up you lot that got optimism for the Burnley game. I think I speak for many a fan that feels the same way as myself. Of course, I am not watching it. I'm not watching it because I feel... And it's a weird one because I feel watching it is bad for my mental health, innit? Like, it's bad for my mental health. And I'm going to say it for this. I'm going to say that to say this. I don't think Burnley are getting anything from the game. I just think logically, I can't see where City drop points. I think they're going to. We just need, at this moment in time, Arsenal just need to win all their games. By hook or by crook, win all your games. Easier said than done. Win all your games. Hope City drop points. Big up you lot that are doing the XG and the goal difference thing. And big up you lot. You lot are way more smarter than me at mathematics. I think it's more logical for Arsenal just to go win their games and hope City F up. And we've only got ourselves to blame for this situation. Now, throughout, the aftermath of the City game and all of these kind of things and what we've been talking about, it's not that I don't feel this sort of way, but it's happened now, innit? It's happened now. We've only got ourselves to blame in this situation. And by God's grace, I hope there's a City slip up. I hope the momentum where Arsenal's concerned goes in the other way. May comes and we've got a trophy and we're doing whatever, but we've only got ourselves to blame. I hope the performance, keyword the performance against Manchester City. Obviously, the performance can't have been what was wanted because football's a simple game. Keep the ball out the back of your net, put them in the back of your opponents. We did not do that against Pep Guardiola's men. But if we stop taking the dim view and we apply a bit of common sense, since the international break, when we've played Manchester City in the League Cup, Southampton, Bournemouth, and obviously Manchester City again, the reaction was there. Unfortunately, it's too little, too late to a degree. And we are in that point of the season where it's all about, on the best of days, football's just about results, but it's just about results at this moment in time. So I hope there's a line under the sun. I did think the performance was there from the players, bar the obvious things we could have done better. I still think, in the second half, Mikel Arteta, mainly Gyökeres, keeping Eze on, that could have, that was the little things I would nitpick at. In terms of how we approached the first half, can't say you didn't learn your lessons from the first game since the international break against Manchester City. Was impressed with the man-for-man marking, how much we gambled in that regard. Obviously, Eze for the not alone, but Eze for the first goal. We know Eze goes to sleep defensively, but I'm not expecting my attackers to be great defensively. That was the first time you betted on the trade-off. You knew that could have been something, but you wanted Odegaard and Eze in the team. My problem is, everything I've spoken about positively, I do think it's come too late. Like, I do think we should have been doing this several points last year or the first half of the season, and we should be running away with this league like Liverpool. But coulda, woulda, shoulda, can only deal with realities. This is what's in front of us. Newcastle's a difficult test. Granted, it's not the same Newcastle side it was last season. Eddie Howe's men have spoiled our day on the best of days. Very good manager, serious football club, serious players. And the one thing I would say, on the best of days, we all know the Premier League is a cup final, all that kind of crap, yeah? But Newcastle are not having the season that they want. We're not looking like we're going to have the season we want. Both teams need 3 points. I'm sure we'll get into it. Tab police look away. I'm sure there's a tab there. But Tyler Adams, he's speaking about the nervousness at the Emirates and all of those kind of things. Where are we playing on Saturday? Now, granted, with what I expect, this is our last couple of hours, top of the league, at least for now. things are going to change. Yes, it's goal difference, but we know what we're going to approach there with. God forbid, but if City win today, they're top. We go into the game against Newcastle, we're a goal down within 5 minutes. Where we at? So yeah, man, the performance will come too late, bro. It needed to be there against Bournemouth. And in terms of the manager doing different things, I think it needed to come several months before. But it is what it is. It's not what it's not. Past brings regrets. Future brings uncertainty. If you don't know what I mean, the past, like, there's several points we could pick in the Premier League this season where we could have done better. The future brings uncertainty. While I think Manchester City will win the league, while I think we've shot ourselves in the foot, it's still uncertain how that's all going to pan out. In fact, nothing's decided. Mathematically, there's still a probability that Arsenal can win the league, so they need to go and do that. So the Premier League title race, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on with the Champions League spots, relegation, top 10, etc., etc. And boy, man, it is what it is, man. So yeah, smash the like button. Let me know your thoughts, people. You lot are the real reason this channel's here, man. Linz, appreciate you. Shameless title. You gotta be in it. Like, in Burnley, we trust. I don't trust them, but yeah. How can it be shameless? Because in the same vein, I said, made a bit of joke. In Burnley, we trust. Too little, too late from us. That rhymes. I could do bars. There's apparently rumors around fire sales. We've been linked with Bernardo Silva. Big S. Hyper. Boy, appreciate you. Burnley versus City. We need the spirit of Sean Dyche's haram ball from Burnley tonight. I just think momentum in life and momentum in football are big things. And especially at the tail end of a season, City are purring. I don't want to keep saying the same things. When I against Real Madrid, by their standards, having a bit of a topsy-turvy season, got over that, won a League Cup final, got back to Wembley on Saturday, actually, in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, potentially another final, kicking with a lot of belief in relation to winning. They can win the Premier League. Done our dance twice, beat Liverpool, beat Chelsea. Whatever you say about those three clubs, on paper, there had to have been a point where City fans were a bit pessimistic. Now that's not the case. Momentum's with them. I hope in what's left, the performance can kickstart some momentum for us, but it's all about points on the board. And I know, they beat us, but football does take a lot out of you. And you've now, you played on Sunday, quick turnaround, you got to play Burnley. I don't care who's injured and who's not from City. I expect them to deal with this. I still think they're going to be up for it. I do think they'll rotate in relation to the FA Cup. Obviously, Manchester City got more players than you can choose, so they'll do that. If anything, Bournemouth on paper is the only, maybe have City still got Everton? Let me know if they've got Everton, but Bournemouth and Everton are the only places now. It doesn't matter if you support Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester United. Well, Spurs lose every week, poor example. But on paper, the games that should be walks in the park or games you should have been dreading the worst and whatnot, there's been different realities. Do you get where I'm going? They have Everton soon. Half of these teams, it's going to be mad. BR, it does look like he's over, man. And I can't lie, speaking of over, I did expect at some point today, completely off topic, Chelsea would announce that Liam Rosana's going, although he's on like an 8-year deal. I saw online today, they have to pay him like 20-odd million quid if they want him to go, people. So yeah, it's a madness. Chelsea ain't scored in for whatever, ain't had a shot on target. It's just horrible, but nothing's decided. Now, I hope it stays like this. And obviously, but in reality, I've accepted City at the top, Arsenal second, but nothing's been decided. The race for top four, I think Man United will be there. But if I just look at the data, like third and fourth, you don't quite know who's going to be there. Obviously, Liverpool have to go and beat Crystal Palace. They do that, it flips it. Brighton, big them up. Chelsea, it's dark, Brighton slapped them on their head again. Shout out to Danny Welbeck. Last fight, it's horrible. And Nottingham Forest away, who are fighting for their lives. And again, momentum on paper is with Forest. In terms of whether the league position or not, Chelsea and Spurs have to be on paper two of the worst performing Premier League sides. So again, Chelsea could slip out that. And they said they was in the title race. Potentially, they might not even finish in the top 10, which is dark. And then you look at a lot, bro, nothing's decided. Look at that. But, outside chances of, to be fair, Brentford, Bournemouth, and Everton should be targeting European football in some capacity, whether that's Conference League, whether that's Europa League, whether that's Champions League. But you look at it, nothing's decided. Look, this is Champions League. From 1st to 5th, that's Champions League. These are the Europa League spots, right? And this is Conference League. I might be chatting shit to you lot, but you get the point. Nothing's decided. And I still don't even think Spurs are going down. They surely beat Wolves. Wolves who have been confirmed to go down, surely they beat Wolves. And although the only thing I could say with Burnley is you're gone, but this is the part of the season where shock results happen, in it. So that could give fuel to the fire for City to lose, but that's a myth. I still don't think Spurs are gone. But you look at it, West Ham got a difficult test in Everton. On paper, Spurs should be beating Wolves. Oof. Third place is ours. Thank God we got company because it's dark. What do you mean? Fleming and Anthony, 1 goal each. Come on, we're facing Liverpool at Old Trafford in May. Even the guys that are fighting for top four, you look at United's fixtures, Villa's fixtures, Liverpool's fixtures, Chelsea's and Brighton's. You lot all bucking into each other, so it is going to be quite interesting. Chelsea players have down tools. Clearly, their ownership is clueless and ostrated Maresca and brought in Rosano, who should have stayed away from the poison chalice. You're right and wrong, and what I mean by that is I make you right as well because Liam Rosano, to a degree, I don't think it matters who the Chelsea manager is at this moment in time. Clearly, a better manager that's either more experienced or able to do certain things. They probably on a footballing pitch, you see a lot better. But under this regime, they've had a number of managers. It's the same old crap at Chelsea at this moment in time. They're spending a lot of money. There's not too much bang for their buck and things of that ilk, yeah. So I do think you're right in that he should have stayed away from it because you're just going to be the fool guy. I actually think he was. Yes, man, isn't the right word, isn't it? But you see what he done at Strasbourg. I've swear the Chelsea owners own Strasbourg. Now you could see based on what Chelsea are doing with these young players and whatnot, he will sing from the same hymn sheet. So I do think you're right in that regards. Where I would say it's a bit harsh because whether it works out or not, Liam Rosner will get another job somewhere, and for him, it's Chelsea, a big football club, the biggest of his career, financially, all of that stuff. It just makes sense to go and do it. So I understand it. He's clearly out of his depth, but well, it's not even. He is out of his depth, but everyone can see the ownership is poison at this moment in time. You got players on big contracts, players are doing up interviews. The players are fucked up as well. You know, as much as the manager and the regime, the players have effed it up. Remember, Chelsea fans. You know, when they played against PSG, they played against Barcelona, they played against us, they drew against us when they went down to 10 men. They were very bullish. Now, what's happened in terms of the fallout? And this is where momentum is a big thing, and timing's important. And kind of relating it back to Arsenal, yeah. I think for me, I think the best we've played. I know there's been times we've scored a lot of goals, but the only time I felt, yeah, you know what, big up you lot, really, is Newcastle away. And I remember how I felt around that game and all the talking points at the time. Who have we got on Saturday? So in the reverse fixture, the sentiment's different, really. So yeah, now's not the time to be messing about. It's the business end. Yeah, when people spell Cole Palmer like this, is crazy. Palmer, in my opinion, a bit like Saka, there's a lot of things they need to answer, but you can tell when a man's not fit and not having surgery, bro. Like, you can see it. You can see it. DG, do you think Arsenal is rushing Saka and Timber back to salvage the season? I think both of those players will rush themselves back, if I'm completely honest with you. They like to compare themselves to a big fan. Come on, you Gunners. And half of these guys that are struggling, they wanted their teams to lose because it's a banter thing with Arsenal. So you lot are going to have to hold that. That is you lot's business. And I can't quite say I care, people, if I'm completely honest. People, please make sure we're smashing those like buttons. Again, you know what? For the last 2 days, we've meant to be going over these tabs, in it, people, but we've refrained from it, in it. So let's knock them out. Pause. Pep Guardiola, Arsenal is top of the league right now. In this moment, they'll be champions. I can't lie, Pep. Your trolling is immaculate, man. You've been doing all of that. My face speaks for itself. Pep Guardiola says he's more relaxed than ever, as you should be, because you lot have been dreading the worst, and you're not the best City side we've seen. And you're still going to run away with the league and maybe win minimum 2 trophies, potentially a domestic treble, which is another bit of history for Pep Guardiola and for a couple of those players that have been at City that have won stuff. And obviously, you know, the Nico Rileys, the new gen that understand what it means to play for City, but they ain't barred the League Cup. They haven't got there, in it. No, absolutely the opposite. Nervous was last season. Pressure last season. I could bring as a manager the team not in the Champions League. Now we're more relaxed than ever, even before Arsenal. The feeling that we have done a really, really good season. Now is the moment to enjoy more than ever. Knowing that we have, and every game is a message. It's so clear. It's not even a message. They know it. It's completely the opposite. We have the Carabao Cup semi-final in a few days against Southampton in Wembley, and tried to fight to win the Premier League. So that's good, really, really good. That's why I'm a manager, to live these moments. My face speaks for itself. They see me. My face speaks for itself perfectly. I don't need sometimes to talk. When they see my eyes in my face, they know it, and they know me quite good. I mean, Gaffer, as in our Gaffer, maybe there's things you could learn from that as well. Obviously, it's not tonight, people, but, you know, a couple of days ago, literally yesterday, tonight will be the 539th night Arsenal have ended top of the Premier League table under Mikel Arteta, and their 200th, consecutive night. It's also 200 more days than any other manager has led the table without ever lifting the trophy. So he's up there with Kevin Keegan. And this was, unfortunately, You know, Arteta, this is where you have spoken about, and this ain't me to catch you out. This was this season. You know what you needed to do. DG, you defo saw Belemba last night. That's my midfielder because you ain't got him, man. You ain't got him yet. He'll come back stronger next season. I hear that, but I don't want to hear about next season. For 3 seasons, we have more points than any team in this league. Now we have to do it in a season. So I'm only holding you accountable. Make sure you rise up the Prem, or there's certain things that can't be defended, Gaffer, man. What else have we got to discuss, people? If Arsenal and City win all their remaining Premier League games, the title will be decided on goal difference. Currently, only 1 goal separates them. We probably could keep more clean sheets, but they're going to score more goals. And to be honest, the clean sheets thing, we don't look like as strong as we were defensively. So this is why I'm saying it's more logical to just focus on Arsenal winning. And again, we're struggling to win games domestically, let alone saying, yo, not only win the game, keep a clean sheet and score X amount of goals. Regardless, everyone's allowed their opinion. I think it's logical to aspire to win all of our games, hope City drop off. That's it, innit? This whole goal difference thing, myth. If that's level, the team with the most goals scored this season will be crowned champions. Currently, only 2 goals separate them. If that's level, the side with the superior head-to-head record has the advantage. That would be City. So again, the game at the Etihad is one thing. The game at the Emirates. So yeah, it is what it is in that regards. Let the result and performance do the talking. This quote is so garbage. I'm sorry. Get me Mourinho just to manage the pressures. He'll hit Pep with bare subliminals. Jose was my guy until obviously the whole Benfica Real Madrid stuff. I'm really disappointed in Jose Mourinho's comments. Declan Rice said it's not done. I mean, it's not done, but I can hear the saxophones, bro. I can't lie to you. And again, if we want to be a competitive team, yeah, then we've got enough. What you see now, we've got enough. If we want to be a team that wins, then certain questions need answers. You're not surprised, and you are surprised with apart from Bukayo, excluding this season, if these players have strong goal-scoring campaigns. The Premier League, the top Premier League players for minutes per goal / assist in all comps this season. Forget the statistics, but you see Haaland there, you see Cherky there. 2 key players for City. And Cherky's started the season well, had a bit of the time where he was in and out. Now, towards the tail end, finding his form. Haaland's obviously among the goals again. Hugo Ekitike was doing his thing. Igor Thiago's having a ridiculous season. Whatever people say about Bruno Fernandes, there has to be some correlation with what he's done in his own way, on top of everyone else at Man United getting their act together. Nobody's there for Arsenal. Yes, there's been injuries, there's been all of that, but in your heart, come on. Come on. And this is what I mean about recruitment, bro. No more Kai Havertz's and Noni Madueke's. Players you need to do a bit better. We only, in the last 3 years or 4, Saka's been the only one, the consistent variable. We've seen Martinelli bag and not bag. We've seen Trossard bag and not bag. And then obviously, Arteta, you show me you can coach attacking, but since 2022-23, we've gone away from that. There's also that case of, and again, there is tax that, you know, the low blocks that we still haven't solved. So that's on Arteta. The way teams set up against us, all of that kind of jazz, Premier League, all that kind of stuff. Eze is a star. Why has he struggled when he signed here? Whatever you think about Gyökeres, his record for clubs and country speak for itself. Why has he struggled here? And the players have to answer for themselves. For Zubamendi, who no one can convince me is playing shit at the moment, can't pass the ball forward. Why is it here? So this is what I mean. There's not any evidence to say we get certain players and it's just going to bang. But this is what I mean about it's romantic, but it will always be the Mighty Ducks thing where, you know, defense wins titles, goals win games, you know, and goals salvage games. Had we, you know, again, Kai scores, Magalhaes scores, Eze's shot goes in, or Eze stays on the pitch, we might get out of jail. At some degree, we need to be able to have that, and we haven't got that. And this is what I mean by we shoot ourselves in the foot. We keep doing the same things, expecting different shit. And even you, Cherky, I don't know when the transfers was decided, but you don't know I've talked about this guy for years, bro. The man was 30 million. I know people look at City's transfer dealings with rose tints and they get koalas by the transfer fee and don't consider the agent fees and obviously the wages. But bro, what's a better bit? If it was as white and black as that, what makes more sense, especially for Arsenal? He was doing this French thing before everyone else. 30 million euros even on Ryan Cherky, who PSG tried to buy, and obviously he's at City. Or Noni Madueke. 100+ million on Kai Havertz, Noni Madueke. You bought Norgard, not utilizing him. So there's certain things that Mikel Arteta has done and the boys have done. We have shot ourselves in the foot. But I'm broken record now, isn't it, really? What shall be, shall be. You lot do your thing, innit? They're definitely always... Not for me, there's not panic on the streets of London, because once in my life and in football, once things are not in my control, then there's that certain degree of tranquilness. Like when it's in your hands, you have all my emotions, you'll have all my support. It's done for me, man. We have suffered 7 defeats in 55 games this season, which again, we don't suffer that many lows, but when the lows hit, the lows are fucking low. And again, you've competed in 4 competitions. Technically, there might be one last life, but you're still in the Premier League. You're still in the champs. You did lose you got all the way to the final in the League Cup, and you shot yourselves in the foot 1 step away from Wembley at the FA Cup. But this is what I mean. There's more to give. It's those fine margins. When are we on the right side of these fine margins? In the last 3 years, we haven't. PSG, fine margins. Who was on the right side? City in the final. Who was on the right side? The other day, who was on the right side? And there's probably certain others as well. And again, we keep doing the same things. Same things are going to happen, people. And we've hit this buffer at the wrong time. Arsenal have lost 4 consecutive games in domestic league / cup competitions for the very first time under Arteta. And again, the players have to fix up. But Arteta, the 2 domestic cups, who did you put in goal? And it's not just him, but who did you put in goal? Did you change the tactics? And then again, the players against Bournemouth. I'm more onto the players. The players, everybody against Bournemouth. Everybody in the League Cup final, Southampton, everybody. But there's times where I'm more lean to, yo, what are you doing, Gaffer? So you can't stand in the rain and complain you're wet, bro. It's as simple as that. You do that, you're in trouble, innit? Arsenal have lost more games in their last 6 than they did in their first 49 matches of the season. So you're losing momentum at the wrong time. Other people are gaining momentum at the wrong time. And it's horrible. Champions League, in terms of results, has been the only cool thing for us. But 1 win in 6 in all comps. And I do think man have been running to the ground. And as much as this is funny, yeah, Arteta, you can't be shocked. I can't lie. You cannot be shocked that Kai Havertz missed that chance because you of all people see him in training. We know about this thing as well. And again, I actually think like away from the fine margins, Kai did all right. I can't be vexed at Kai because what I saw away from the fact that we wanted to win and all the other talking points, in terms of that being that facilitative striker, Kai Havertz does that. He's going to, he presses well. That's why he got the goal. This is what I've been saying all week. The goal he scored sums him up. The missed chances summed him up. Can you really be? We've been seeing this for years. Why are you surprised? Of course he could do better, but why on God's green earth are you surprised? You've been seeing this for years. And if you keep doing the same things, the same shit's going to happen. As I said, that's the shit why Kai's in the squad. Even to the point where, not to disagree with Kai being in the 11 and that, bro, we're talking about momentum, right? And we all know the general play, all the other important things to be in a striker, bar just putting the ball in the back of the net. Kai probably has that over Gyökeres. But Gyökeres can put the ball in the back of the net. In this part of the season where you're looking for momentum, I would say, and especially in attack where you can't really bet on them, I think since the turn of the year, Trossard's been shit. I'll give Trossard this. I actually think off the bench against City, you did well. But if I'm just keeping it true in this last 6 games or whatever have you, or even just before the international break around Everton and that, if you're not a 16-year-old Max Dowman, if you're not Gyökeres, and if you're not Eze, I don't necessarily believe in your capabilities. So might have to play on momentum to the point where, fuck it, start Max Dowman against Newcastle, bro. Especially when you're at the Emirates, you need to actually put in a performance beyond the obvious because we need 3 points that generates the atmosphere. Max is going to take people on. He's going to be fearless. People get behind that. If a Bobby Dazzler that's going to dribble, someone that's going to fly in for a tackle, these are the things that generate the atmosphere at the Emirates, no? Or maybe I'm looking at it too basic. City known for getting Algerian ballers, Mahrez, Cherki, Nasri. DG been talking about Cherki since he was 17. There you have it, bro. Come on, DG, scouting pro bono now. This guy invaded our scouting team. Best squad in the world, no, bro. I can only be held accountable for what I've personally said, man. In Burnley, we trust. Thank you, Arteta. We're finished. Listen, don't fall for the title. Me, I don't trust anyone but myself. In life, when it goes out of my control, it's a myth. Bit of fun with the title. I don't trust Burnley. It's not even that I trust Burnley. It should be irrelevant. If we did our job, we don't really care what goes on tonight. It is what it is, people. But can't go back in time, innit? What else have we got? Big up you lot, man. Keep smashing the likes. BR, even though you're a prick, big up you for that. And we're never on the right side of the fine margins, man. Eze hit the post and Gaffer, bro. You need to learn not to take the man them off when they're Eze starting to drop shoulders and you need a bit of individual brilliance. You need to let your nuts hang. Shouldn't have taken Eze off, bro. You keep doing the same things. And then you look at the running people. Boy, momentum's with City. City should believe they can win every game. It's not to say I'm being defeated, but I think anyone that genuinely is screaming the same about Arsenal, you're doing the Braveheart thing without any context behind it or any real reason for it, yes, we'll always support. Do I think we're going to win the league? No, but we could be fucking non-league or doing Real Madrid stuff. I'm an Arsenal fan, innit? I'm here to the end. So you'll always have my support, but believe, who's more likely to go on a run? The team that's on a run or the team that keeps shooting itself in the foot? Could City drop points in a couple of these games? Potentially against Unai Emery, against Brentford, against Everton, against Bournemouth. These teams are still playing for stuff. Burnley are playing for pride. But it wouldn't shock you if they drop points because of what we've seen from City generally this season, bar the tail end. But you'd back City to beat Palace. And this is me just being honest. You'd back them to beat Palace whenever that is. You'd back them to beat Burnley. You'd think maybe of the teams we're looking at, Everton might be able to do a thing, but you'd back City to win that close-fought contest. Brentford, you'd back them. Bournemouth, you'd back them. Villa, you'd back them. I believe we're going to beat Newcastle, but it wouldn't shock me if you F up. I've seen that. The same goes for Fulham. West Ham away. Burnley at home, you probably win. And you know what? If the league's wrapped up somehow before Crystal Palace, then I think you'll win. If the pressure's on, I think you drop points in South London. So prove me wrong, innit? And big up Haaland for being a real G against Gabriel Magalhaes. We don't need to go over that. I didn't think in real time there was anything in this. I'm more interested in Trossard. Again, I have to big up Trossard. Trossard, you should have an assist for Kai Havertz. And obviously, Kai probably should do a bit better because I think if I remember correctly, Trossard, they've had a corner or something. Trossard just looked up, pinged it over the top, and that's what's happened here. And whether it should have been a red, not being a red, bro, control the controllables. Did we control what we could control in both boxes? Probably not, people. And even that, it all evens out. People talking about Haaland is pulling Magalhaes' shirt, but it is what it is. We've got away with that at times. Magalhaes should have been sent off. So some things go for you, some things go against you. It is what it is. And like, I'm not here to do all of that, people. What are the key pinch points as Arsenal and City? Bro, come on, man. Hell will freeze over if I ever read an article that's talking about pinch points. What kind of nonsense is this? Pep Guardiola says he loved that clip of Declan Rice. They're on banter still. I love that. I saw it on Monday and it shows what Declan Rice means. That's the Arsenal mentality. Well, always next season and always tomorrow. We faced it in the Premier League these past seasons and in the League Cup, how competitive they are. Pep, stop violating. I like banter and I can look at this, but we'll stop violating about how competitive they are, bro. Shut up, man. Otherwise, they can't have done the season they have done in the Premier League, being there and being unbeaten in the champs, as you have Mikel Arteta, but also these types of players that follow the message. And in the bad moments, they have the resilience to say, we are there. There's a good example for us, what we're going to face in the 5 games for them in the title race. They know exactly what opponents we are going to face in the 5 games for them, 6 for us. If people think because we beat them, the title race is done, Declan Rice showed us that they are there. So that's just Pep saying, you know what, you lot have done well to come through twice against Arsenal, doing what you did against Liverpool, doing what you did against Chelsea. You could win 1, 2, or 3 trophies, but don't think it's done yet. Don't shoot yourselves in the foot. Just because we're in a good moment and we fixed up, don't forget how things can turn. Even looking at Arsenal, things can change. Because at one point, they couldn't touch us with a barge pole. So that's just him, in my opinion, guarding against complacency, if I'm honest with you. Pep said, I'm proud of Haaland for not being an artist. I hear that, man. But Pep, you should have got him. You should have told him again privately, yo, that happens again. Get Magalhaes out of there. Because Magalhaes gets a straight red. He's out for 3 games. Everything we've spoken about what Arsenal need to do becomes a lot tougher. Get him out of there. And he'd only have himself to blame. And you know what? Whether I rate you lot or not, and I'm not saying everybody's a shithouser, but I keep saying this and I'm going to keep saying it. If we want to be a competitive team, we have 1-2 moments, we go quite close, but still far in competitions. We've got enough, bro. We've got enough. If we want to get over the line, I need to look at my attack. You're going to get X amount of goals. My midfield is on X amount. We've got different options and all of these kind of things, people. So we can't keep doing the same things. Gyökeres 18 goals this season for club and country, but now Teta starts Kai, who missed 2 chances. I'm not going to sit here and cap. A part of me thinks Gyökeres has to start, but I'm going to be honest. Against City, I understood the approach. It worked with Kai. My thing is, what you see is what you get. Kai's going to do all the other facets well. He's going to sometimes score, but I can't get pissed off that you've missed 2 knife-edge opportunities. You've not shown me any. Like, I can't ask something more of a player that he doesn't have. I'm more looking at the gaffer. My issues are, when it comes to it, Why are you taking so long to bring on Gyökeres, and why did you take off Eze? So it's almost like in the first half, you've changed your approach, which again, arguably, it's come too little too late in the season. But in the second half, you reverted back to habits. It takes forever to learn good habits, which has got us to this competitive position. It takes forever to unlearn bad habits. You don't become a good or bad side overnight. When we were 8th and all them things there, that didn't happen overnight. Spurs, as much as I don't want to talk, like, do that kind of stuff, they've not found themselves in a relegation fight over the last 2 years overnight. Man United have not, since Alex Ferguson, have not got there overnight. Chelsea, with what they're doing, have not got there overnight in the same way where you see good sides. Brighton did not get to where they got to overnight. Bournemouth did not get to where they got to overnight. Brentford, who were meant to be in a relegation race, and, you know, again, all the traditional top 6 clubs could not lose their captain in Norgard, could not lose their star manager in Thomas Frank, could not lose Visa and Buemo and whoever, and arguably, on paper, do better. They've got inside. They can get Europe as a minimum. They've got an indirect chance of Champions League with Keith Andrews. So big them up. So yeah, man. Bro, the only way to gain momentum is to win games. You can take encouragement from the performance. Keyword, the performance. But we all know that means little now. That should have been there. I know it's a different climate, but that should have been there against Southampton. That should have been there against Bournemouth. Martin Odegaard and Eze start together for Arsenal for just the 4th time this season. And even this, I know injuries and all these things happen, Gaffer, yeah? But one thing you haven't done is found different solutions. You're allowed to, again, I can nitpick, but you're allowed to be, I think your career should be starting to read, but you're allowed to, I want to play Kai, I want to do this, I want to do that. You've not found a way to you've not balanced the left or the right. We've not found a way to break down low blocks. In-game management hasn't improved. You know, sometimes I feel like I praised your approach in the first half against City, and I said it's come too little too late. I feel like you have to be forced to kind of do these things. Ben White / Timber, cool, it used to be Ben White, the main right back, right? Bukayo Saka, who, to be fair, we ran him into the ground. Martin Odegaard. Football is about relationships. That right-hand side, I'm not asking it for it to be the same level, but you've not been able to, if them lot are fit, I'm going to run this. And then I've got a solution. And then I might need to take Rice or Zubi Mendy out the team and try something else in midfield. Sometimes, because we actually don't really invert our left. We do invert our left back, but build-up play isn't on that left-hand side as much. You've not found the balance of changing that. And also at times reverting back to that, which I think we've needed to do at times. You've not found that balance. When to play Kai and Gyökeres together. Like, I'm not saying these things need to happen all the time, but you need different ingredients, bro. In life, who wants to eat the same meal all the time? When you eat the same meal all the time, it becomes predictable, right? There you have it. And you've got to find a way, bro. And for your coaching development, Mikel Arteta, I keep saying this, you've got to find a way at times to just say, you know what, fuck it. Like I'm praising you for the City game. You took a gamble. You knew Eze on the left-hand side, there's a trade-off. Defensively, he might switch off. You know, with the way Magalhaes was pressing in that first half, we're leaving Haaland 1v1. We might be able to nick a goal or something like we did in like when we scored the equalizer. But Haaland 1v1, it could be an issue. This needed to be there before. You need to learn how to work with Mavericks. You need to find a way to allow them to find that freedom within a framework. We are not PSG. We do not have done players like PSG. You are not Luis Enrique. But in the same way, if you're a young Max Dowman who's playing right wing, you're going to look at the best right winger in the world at the moment or historically and try and be like them, right? And in any other position. Arteta, you need to be looking at, you do your own thing in your own way, but you need to be looking at Pep and Luis Enrique. Because Luis Enrique does the same things you do, it's just to several different decibels. And the difference with him is he will, if there's 10 tasks, he will make sure that if there's 10 tasks, keyword 10, yeah, the 9 things he needs his team to do, he'll make sure they're able to do it. He'll find that freedom within a framework. I don't care how good your attackers are. I need you to stand here, do this, do that. I need you lot to defend. That's the 9 things I'm giving you. The 10th, go out and play. Go out and play. What do you see in their midfield? The 6 is the highest. There's a freedom within a framework. What do you see with Pep? Now it's very different. And again, these players are quality players, respectfully to their own selves, yeah? But on paper, is Donnarumma a Pep Guardiola goalkeeper? Is Ryan Cherky a Pep Guardiola player? Because this is the sort of stuff people like to do, they are Arteta players. Is Haaland a Pep Guardiola striker? He's found a way to go against his own coaching philosophies positively to reach new heights. You haven't done that. If you don't evolve, and I said, this is all from a place of love. If you don't evolve, how do you expect to win a Prem? All I care about this season is the fine margins. We don't lose that much, but the 3, 4, 5 games that we'll look back in hindsight where we lost there, maybe we could have nicked a point. We was on course for a point and then we lost in the last minute. Or had we have won that, what would have happened? These are the things. We're 90% of the way there. There's 10%, but you lot keep not do your thing, innit? Do your thing. Simple as that, bro. I don't think Kai shit, but he's a reboard, bro. Like, the man, they're reboards, bro. Like, I can't keep getting vexed at Noni, at Trossard, at Martinelli, at Kai Havertz. You've shown me what you are in it, and you're just not levels, bro. Like, you're not. I actually think Kai was decent. We're all going to focus on the chances missed, me myself as well, because it's a different game. But we see that all the time. We know that's what Kai is. None of these players are unknown entities in this side. And for the players, you lot need to be warriors, man, because I only see a couple man as warriors. And when I say warriors, it don't mean everyone's a shithouser. Magalhaes, he don't really play, but Miles Lewis-Skelly, Nkapie, Saliba, Timber, there's a couple more. You lot are the savages. Not everyone's like that. And to a degree, yes, you have to listen to the manager. But I said this yesterday, I guarantee you, if you speak to Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, Arsene Wenger, Conte, Carlo, this one, that one, there's many a times where the players have probably been shit, either when they've gone on one staff in cups or in domestic leagues. Yeah, there's probably been times their players have been shit, their tactics or them tweaking things has got them out of jail. Equally, there's an element of things go wrong. You know, sometimes managers get things wrong. The players need to bail the gaffer out, and you lot need to say, I'm putting the team on my chest, to a degree, fuck the tactics. Because how many times have we seen fuck the tactics? That's what got us a win against Real Madrid. Obviously, there's balance, but in terms of the free kicks, Rice went for it. The logic was saying put the ball in the box. How many incidences do we see that? Sometimes, again, there's an element of the players need to be able to do this. How many times do you see that? It's too scripted, it's too by the book, it's too nice, bro. And this is all from a place of love. So you lot are competitive boys. But until the manager becomes something different and the players become something different, we're never going to reach a different level. We're going to still have, generally throughout a season, we're nitpicking, the football weren't great, but we're picking up wins. Statistics are coming out, more points than the Invincibles, more goals than this. Arteta's the first to do this, players that, but don't quite get to the line. And obviously the physical condition of these players, because there's been more players brought in, and I'll cut you the tax of certain man come into the season with injuries, but you've got more players and you've reached April where players are not in great physical condition. Kai Havertz, I even allow Kai a bit because your season's been injury hit. You're not fully fit. So I allow you a bit. Ben White's not fully fit. Bare man are not fully fit. Bearing in mind, every player in the Premier League right now, especially those that have played 50 or whatever games for club and country, whatever, they're carrying knocks, not just at Arsenal. And we know this because we see it every year. But if nothing changes, nothing changes. That we lost an opportunity. We have another 5 matches. Everything is there to play still, and we're going to go again, bro. I hear this. It's not wrong. You just need to win games, bro. You just need to win games and pray to God, innit? Simple as that. Big up Martin, man. No one can gaslight me and tell me Martin weren't decent against City. By all means, that's his best performance of a start. Best start. The bar's been on the floor for Martin Odegaard this season. We know he stunk up the gap, but no one's gonna sit here and tell me he can be scapegoated against City. Be honest. The same logic, you know, when man plays shit, draw them out. But he's not the problem. That's the only performance I can think of, my top of my head, in this season, which has been shit for Martin, that you've actually been good as a starter. Prior to that, all your best appearances are off the bench. But yeah, he done this thing. And to be fair, there was even a moment, Eze and Odegaard, they linked up. Everyone remembers the header from Kai. Don't you remember when, I'm sure it was Odegaard, Eze was defo involved. Don't you remember Odegaard slipped to me and he tried to take a touch? And this is what I mean. Kai can do all of that false nine, logical stuff, but there's certain moments you just need basic competencies. The header, the opportunity I just referred to there. Fuck if it was a red card or whatever, yeah, but forgive me if I'm wrong, but when Trossard, I believe it was Trossard that put the ball on, you know, like when they're talking about Kozlarov should have been sent off or whatever. Certain players there, they might get you out of jail. How much times you want to watch Boys in the Hood and complain that Ricky got shot? Fair play. But yeah, that's it, man. We've been overdue to go through these tabs, people. What we got here? Yeah, this incident, actually, what I'm talking about. Like I said, fuck if it was a red card or whatever, yeah. The ball's put in. And again, I'm not getting vexed at you, Kai. Obviously, I want you to do better, but I accept you for what you are. We keep taking man that should be squad players, making them vital guys and doing all of that. How much times are you when are you gonna learn? What's this? Don't know, just an unnecessary tab. See, I always bring the entertainment for you lot. Mods, please make sure we're smashing the like button, people. And comments like this start to annoy me as well. Because, yeah, you know, everyone wants to talk about Arsenal being boring. Yes, XG was with us. It's not about how many chances you create. It is, because football is about probabilities. You create more, you're more likely to score. It's about taking them. It don't really matter in that. And also, XG takes a lot of things out of context. Like, what would be better is some metric around quality of chances, if I'm honest. Fine margin. Look at this. Fine margins let him down. I do not care. If Arteta sets the team up like that to the end of the season, we will have the Premier League, provided City drop points. It's not as white and black as that, but the performance brought encouragement. But apart from the Premier League stuff, well, you could say that, yeah, we know this is in the 2025-26 season. Focus on the fine margins comment and in general. If you didn't know we played City and it wasn't there, how many times could you clip up that sentence and apply it in the last 4 years and in several games? And as I said at the start of this live stream, when are we going to be on the right side of those fine margins? This is it. And it's all from a place of love. You can tell the Eze chance. Eze, I got a lot of time for you, man. What's this? Honestly, surprised Arsenal have not been praised more this season. Bro, fuck anyone's praise, bro. At the end, it has to be celebrated with major trophies in your hand, and I'm very conscious of that. I think we'll continue to produce those stats, yes, because we're a competitive side, but it's now about chasing the illusion of perfection and greatness. And greatness being, you lot, first Premier League of the Emirates era, potentially first Champions League in our history, bagging some domestic cups, all the blood, sweat, and tears actually being something tangible that you can look back, creating some moments that will live on and a legacy that will live on before you lot. Because you lot, not only could you win and all the stuff that comes with it and all of that, certain Arsenal fans have never seen us win a Prem. They'll think of you in the same way I think of the Invincibles. Or, you know, in the couple of Premier League trophies I've seen. Or those people older than me know where I'm going. So we'll keep on producing us that we're a good football team. No one can gaslight me. We're not shit. Like, people can laugh, but like, it's time to think logically. We're not shit. Like, we've shown consistency to be second. Am I happy to be second? No. But you're closer to getting over the line than you are going the other way. But until you learn these lessons, we're going to keep having these same feelings at these points. We know what April is. And to be fair, I know it's childish, people, but I know it's mad childish, but you don't need to stop voting for Arteta Premier League manager as a month. It's gone left since then. I'm not even superstitious like that. Well, I am, but I'm not. Like, it all fucking hell, man. Do you know what? It actually all went left when Max Dowman backed. When Max Dowman patterned, and it's nothing to do with Max, but like, I'm just, as a club, like, when Max scored against Everton, it was great. It's been left ever since then, innit? Or to be fair, it's gone left the second half against City in the first game, innit? But yeah, man. So yeah, I think we'll continue to produce those stats. They've never been produced in the history of this club, which is great. And this club has got titles. That's great, because man are not going to remember 10, 20 years from now. 2 semi-finals in 140 years, more points than the Invincibles, more goals than this. Arteta is the first to do this. The players are the first to do this. I'm not discrediting that. But let's cut the crap now. Like, we know we're 30, but it's now time to get it, people. We are in the process of getting them. We are very close. We don't need that validation. We need that internal validation. Like, because no one can tell me we don't sit there and believe we can win the title and you don't have a bit of imposter syndrome when you don't do it. We don't need that validation. I think we know what we're doing and we want more. And that's what drives us. We want to really achieve the things that are going to make all our people very proud. Exactly. And listen, I've got a lot of love for you, Gaffer, and the players. But if I remove my emotions, brother, none of you have done nothing I ain't seen before. Cool, you got all them stats. You know, big that up. I've seen us win a Premier League. Cool, you got to 2 semi-finals, but I've not seen us win a Champions League. I've seen us fall short in Europe. Seen us win a Premier League. Seen us win an FA Cup, a few of those. Not seen us win a League Cup, where that could have been 1-2 bit of history. And that's it. You've given it a good goal. Yes, it's a bit flat, and to a degree, like, there's things we could have done better, but you've got to the last hill and you're fucking up. Like, you've got to a final. You're still in a Premier League race, as unrealistic as it looks. You're into the last 4 again in the Champions League. You've gone out the FA Cup 1 step away from Wembley. I'm not excusing the failures, but there's an ability. While we know we can't win 4 trophies, it's not going to happen, innit? It's not sustainable until somebody does it. You can compete, but you keep coming so close, but so far. So yeah, man, all you can do is keep going. What's this one? I thought Kai did well against City, says Gary Neville, and justified his selection. He played the target role of Gyökeres, but was also more agile and link play. Again, I hear it. But then if you're going to have Gyökeres or a striker, you need to commit to how they play. And also, then if you're, there's only one option then. There's only one option, and it's not going to happen. Like, for me, you need to pattern left wing. Something needs to happen at left wing. Like, it can't be Gabriel Martinelli and Trossard only. If they're part of the squad, there needs to be someone else, right? We all know we need a left winger. We need a centre mid, maybe two if Norgard cuts, which is probably likely. Probably need another defensive reinforcement if Ben White goes. You might as well sign another striker. Gyökeres becomes number 2/rotationary option. Is that feasible and realistic where you got Kai on 200 odd grand a week and you still got Gabriel Jesus there? And while certain men need to be moved on, it's not guaranteed everybody that needs to be moved on is going to be moved on. I don't know. And also, people would say, if I just say, would you cry if Kai sold? Would you cry if Jesus is sold? Would you cry if Trossard sold? Would you cry if Martinelli sold? Would you cry if Norgard goes? And maybe some others? You probably wouldn't. But then if 5 men leave and you only bring 2 in, for example, you've got less players. Now, I think every football fan can see why you need a squad. So my point is, just because we're screaming this one needs to go, that one needs to go, bro, that's not how football works, innit? There is an element, even if we won the Premier League or the Champs, there's an element of we need to replenish. Because if you do get to the top of the Prem, top of the Champs, you do need to be even harsher. It's one thing getting there, it's another thing staying there. And also, a lot of these players, evolution thing, innit? Some man have ran their race, bro. The players that helped us rebuild weren't necessarily there when we won our first, we didn't win anything. When we, fought for our first Premier League trophy, and then the second one, and then the third one, and you get where I'm going with it. There's always continuous evolution, and that is why you've seen what the legendary managers have done. What's this? If I have to pick the players up to win the Premier League with 5 games to go in our hands and be in the semi-final of the Champions League, I think I should be at home. It's not needed. It's never been needed, even in difficult moments. So we go again. Is it in our hands? I understand if you're doing a bit of mind games and telling them it's in our hands. I don't know. What's in your hands is control the controllables. Easier said than done. Go win all your games and pray. That's all you can do. Go win all your games. You got 5 games. You've got 7. Put everything into those 7 games. Some people say, no, DG, we got 5. We've got 2 in the Champs. Don't know how it's going to pan out. Football's a simple game. And we're at the period where it's simple. Win your games. Of course, I want great performance, bare goals, getting back to those standards defensively. Win the games. Win your 5 to 7 games. And you have to leave the rest with God now, innit? Hindsight's 2020. What's Rooney said here? He's called it a strange decision to bench Gyökeres. To be fair, he tried the Gyökeres thing in the League Cup final. It didn't bang. To be fair, he did have Kai, and we did have a slightly more possession-based midfield, so maybe that would have filtered towards Gyökeres. But then Kai does drop into midfield. If only, it's again, can't go back, but I did feel against City watching it again, because you don't know I watched 2 games twice. I wish we had the 2022-23 Gabriel Jesus, because that would have been perfect. But again, that's dead. What has he said? I think these decisions, if he comes on and scores the winner or scores the equalising goal, obviously it's the right decision. I thought with him not starting, Arsenal would have tried to sit in there. It was a strange one, him not starting, because you bring a 9 in, which they've been looking for all season, and I actually think he's done okay. To not start him in such a big game, I think that might affect him. I actually disagree. I think he'll be disappointed, but I actually think in terms of mentality, I can criticize his ability, his ugliness and all that. I actually think Gyökeres is cool, if I'm honest with you, with that kind of stuff. I actually like the way he talks. Like, in England, we don't really, like, a lot of these players after their games, they give a lot of, like, media work and whatnot. And I think sometimes when you go online and you hear them talking to media outlets in other countries, like Gyökeres actually in the League Cup final, like the aftermath, really like the way he speaks. Like, I don't know, maybe it's a Scandinavian thing, but there's just no nonsense. He's not speaking in riddles, like. And when you're watching the vids, you can tell when a man's pissed off about certain things. Like, he kept going in the League Cup final, couldn't get the ball. I don't even like Fabregas. Man is a full pagan, but I'd take him tomorrow over the Spanish Southgate. Bro, I know we all think we know better than the manager, but I seriously think that we Rice or Zubi need to play in the 6 and let Eze and Odegaard play together. I don't want to see Eze on the left wing again. He don't like Eze because he don't offer anything defensively. He'd rather play a man who will run back and defend. Eze needs to improve defensively, innit? Villa comes to mind, that comes to mind. But, bro, the trade-off, what he could give you. And at the end of the day, that's going to happen. And I understand it because I see throughout the years, the City players work their asses off defending. in all aspects of defending, keeping hold of the ball, time wasting, when to keep possession, when to up the ante, when to sit, traditional defending, when to press, the zones you press, do you press high? All of these kind of things, the attackers need to be able to do that. But then at the same time, bro, let man be the Dons. Because it feels to me, I've seen this season, fullbacks have had more, maybe not so much now, but first half of the season or first mini half of the season, Timber, Calafiori, you lot are inverting, overlapping, statistically in the box a lot more. You lot are having more freedom. It feels like we take more risks in the final, in our defense than in the final third. And I understand the game's changed, but to a degree, football's always going to remain the same. Big up Wayne Rooney, man. To be fair, one of the only like post-career players / pundits now that actually have time for. This title race is not over yet. Saxophones are loud, man. I still feel like there are some more twists and turns to come. Well, at any point, if Arsenal do not take maximum points in any of the Premier League games, it's over. And yes, we can do eventualities where, you know, both teams keep slipping points. I mean, I did say I think it goes to the last day of the season a month or so ago. I don't quite believe that now. It's obviously going to be tight, but City have got one more game to try win, so I still have Arsenal down as slight favourites. I've been in this situation myself where you need to win all your games for the title. You look at your games and you think, well, we should win this one or that one, but it never pans out that way. Exactly, and we've seen that already in the first half of the season. So just have the mental clarity to accept what the dynamics are and go and win the games, man. From now to the end of the season, it is just going to be down to which team keeps their composure the best. That's who win it. I mean, if you're as a betting man, you're going to go with that, innit? You're going to go with that. And to be honest, I don't really want to hear from what Mikel Arteta said. We'll get into this. People just part that off over there for a sec. What's Gary Neville said here? And what are you lot saying? Join the discussion. My takeaway for Arsenal against City is that the best way that they could have lost. I know the big talk before the match was the bottling, the freezing, the anxiety, the nervousness, the pressure. I can't accuse them of it. I know that people can run whatever bants they want in it. Isolate for the landscape of how you lot, the period you lot have been in. Yeah, that's bottling, that's anxiety, that's freezing. That 90 minutes, I won't accuse anyone. I don't think it's a bottling and freezing and anxiety thing. Now I need to see that at the Emirates, because the last time you kicked a ball at the Emirates, I do think it was all of that against Bournemouth. The pressure, I actually think they handled the occasion very well, and that's positive. They didn't come here today and not play. They didn't come here today and have no idea. I thought they played a good game of football. One of the best performances I've seen from an away team, to be fair. And to be fair, Gaffer, exactly. That first half, I won that against Newcastle at the Emirates. So for Arsenal, it's as good as it can get, but you're up against a juggernaut, and that juggernaut is Pep Guardiola. So when you have opportunities, you have to take them, and we didn't. Man City have won title after title in these last 7 or 8 years, and they've just stole ahead at the right time. They've got that momentum. They will go in front on Wednesday. They'll beat Burnley at Burnley. Facts, Gary Neville. I don't like you, but can't disagree. If Teta was serious, he would have platformed Eze to be close to goal since he's our best shooter. Kai Havertz, Odegaard and Saka haven't played together. Is that true? Since December 2024. That's one of them stats where it could be true, but I need to see proofreading. Pep Guardiola also said, if Kai Havertz scored the header in the last minutes that we didn't defend the cross, what would be our mentality? What would it be? I know perfectly what our mentality would be. They don't have composure. It's not an experienced team. People talk about, they have 2 shots in the post. We had 2 shots against the post too. The game was tight, and the margins define many, many things. I don't disagree with Pep Guardiola. But again, the margins, tight, fine, small. We have not been on the right side of them when it's needed to be. And until you, as a team, any team that wants to win stuff is on the right side of them, it's issues. When we done the Invincible thing, there was plenty of games we were shit. And we still managed to get something, fine margins. I've seen many a Man United side win a title, fine margins. I've seen plenty of City teams, even when ones they're running away from it, isolated to some 90-minute games across the way, fine margins. PSG, they were better than us across the 2 games last year, but the fine margins, they made it happen. But, and I spoke about this earlier, but attackers need to be platformed to get goals, innit? So I won't waste you lot's time with that. And I will say this, yeah, all of this about, I don't want to watch Arsenal anymore and I won't be an Arsenal fan. Anyone that don't want to be an Arsenal fan, fuck off, bro. I'll put that one out there. We'll get into that in just a sec. They played together, Southampton, DG. It probably means starts. We cannot expect Eze to track back when Odegaard is playing. Check City's second goal. Odegaard almost got something on that cross. Yeah. Sometimes the best form of defense is attack. Facts. DG, if you had to replace Arteta one day and you had to pick, who would you replace with him? I don't know, bro. I don't know. But out of the names you said, Luis Enrique, Fabregas, Flick, or keep Arteta. Out of them names, just to answer your question, bro, if Luis Enrique said today he wants to join Arsenal, Arteta, it's been real, bro. It's been real. It's been real. I love attacking players that defend. Unfortunately, not everyone does it. Expecting it from Eze is unrealistic. You got to find balance, bro. Have to find balance, man. Mark Volt is current. Charles, you're funny, bro. I still believe we will do it, people. City have to go to Bournemouth, stay focused. I hope so, but I'm not saying we can't, but just saying belief. Anything is. I need some evidence in it. It's not that these things are wrong, but just saying it blindly, don't fill me with anything, if that makes sense. Like you said a couple weeks ago, DG, the reboard thing is dead. Stop trying to save players, man. And Luis Enrique has been linked with a new deal, says Sarah Myth, man. It went left when Wanyeri got loaned out. It went left when Eze got injured against Leverkusen in that Champions League second leg. Xabi Alonso is out there on a free. All right, man, be respectful to the gaffer. Does he stay or leave? My opinion, he should stay. We still need him. Who are you referring to? Not enough confidence in the team from the gaff to the players. Funny enough, I see parallels between the England team and Arsenal for years in regards to that. There's always something mentality-wise. Man's doing Odegaard prompt. Why are we glorifying average? Bro, even, do you know how many average players throughout years have won stuff for Arsenal? And even if he's average, bro, what does that mean? At the end of the day, whether I like Odegaard or none of these players or all of these players, we've got what we've got. We don't have what we don't have. The window is not open. We have to do it. Just because you don't like Odegaard, don't mean you have to like. I don't think Odegaard should be starting week in, week out. I think there's plenty of luxuries, but let's call it out. How is that prop? There's no way you could have watched that City game and actually attack Odegaard. You can criticize, constructive criticism, but you can't scapegoat him like could have been the case in several other weeks. If you are doing that, I think either one, being a pussy, two, bringing other stuff into the game and being emotional like what Gal do, and you need to find a tampon. I don't know what's wrong with that. We don't need to. We can be critical. We can draw players out, but we don't need to lie, bro. There's not. What do we get from that? I think phase 7 will be different. Look at this guy, man. But as soon as you're in a position where you need City to drop points, it's over. It's over. And I agree with that. And I'd also say as soon as you're in a position where you're reliant on other results, it's dark. All you can do is win the games and be ready. Easier said than done. Ali Adier has spoken about Lewis Skelly and Wanyeri. From Arsenal's point of view, it's always good to have players on the bench that you know have the quality to play. But at the same time, their value is going down every season when they're not playing. This is probably the first season. If the club and the manager are not planning to play them, then they will have to sell them and make some money out of them. Because if you wait another season, the price just keeps dropping and dropping. You know, Wanyeri couldn't even get into the team when we had some injuries. He couldn't get any minutes, so it was a good move to go on loan. For Miles, obviously, the club has other players there. And, of course, they pick up injuries as well. But he doesn't seem to be first choice there. So if I was him, I'd thinking I might need to leave. Clearly, Arteta don't see you as a midfielder or better than what the other options are. Bro, forget that. And Tyler Adams, I'm not going to lie, I hate when shit players talk about us. But he's entitled to talk his stuff. He said we've been nervous. You could tell early on that when they're trying to play out from the back that there was this sense of nervousness. And maybe they bigged up the occasion too much. Obviously, the occasion against Bournemouth was great, but maybe as mad as it is, man have to have the thoughts of it's just a game of football. I don't know, man. The thing was, the team was playing well. Arsenal in the first 5-10 minutes played some of the best football they did in that game. And you saw they were confident. But it just takes one little error, one little mistake, and the fans get a little bit nervy. And I think that it's not an excuse, but they're not following runners. They're not being compact. The brain farts defensively. All of these things have come to a head now, innit? Because there is a degree of, you man are anxious. And you're always going to be like this until you get over the line. That's a difficult atmosphere to play in and thrive in. And I'd also say, as much as it is, then you can't, and man are human, you're playing for Arsenal Football Club. You're playing for Arsenal Football Club. You have to be able to hold that. When they're trying to chase a championship, Americans talk about championships, big up the Americans, because we talk about them like they're not sitting first in the table still for a couple hours. As an opposition, it's the best thing to hear when you're playing an away game and all of a sudden it feels like the momentum is swinging and it feels like a home game. At certain moments in the game, I heard our fans celebrating or cheering. I was like, why is it so quiet in here? Donny's never played at the Emirates before. They're trying to chase a title. We're trying to potentially finish in a European position, but it feels like we're playing for a little bit more in some circumstances. I think it could be really difficult when you're in an environment like that. Fair. It's a new Premier League now. Don't hear it. Saka. Apparently, Arsenal are hopeful that Bukayo will return from injury over the next week, which we're into that next week. We'll have to see. How are we feeling about our next 6 games then, people? Newcastle at home, Atletico Madrid next Wednesday away, Fulham at home, Atletico Madrid at home, West Ham away, Burnley at home. Burnley away, apologies. Was it Burnley at home? Who cares, man? Martinelli's been linked with PSG. Do we really believe this? According to a report in France, and I think the deeper question is they want an attacker because they've been linked with a lot of them, even Gordon, even though he's been linked with Bayern. Apparently, their chief Campos has held talks with the agent of Arsenal star Martinelli about a move to the Parc de France. But fair enough, Arsenal should cash in. I'd rather cash in on Trossard, if I'm honest with you, but don't really care who stays and who goes. I do think some football fans are moist because, and I understand that they're giving shit, but if I was a City fan, how is Gabriel Jesus a Judas? He's not gone from City to United or whoever City's other ops are. He won mad trophies with you lot. He's only played for 2 teams in Europe. You lot wanted to sell him. How is he? He's won 11 trophies with you. And for what I remember of several title challenges, he's never been the first name in the team sheet, but he had his own clutch moments. As he was a squad player, we tried to make him a main one. And this is why if I'm on football, I honestly don't care about football fans, bro, because they will start talking nonsense. But yeah, PSG apparently have held talks with Martinelli. Don't believe that, if I'm honest with you. We have been linked with Goretzka, but apparently Milan are advancing in talks to sign him on a free transfer, and they've received positive signals from the player. Arsenal have been linked with Bernardo Silva. For what it's worth, I would have him. But really, you've won everything there is to win in this country. Arsenal in a different moment. You could finally get your dream of moving. You know, you might want to go back to your homeland and play for Benfica again. You might get a move to Madrid, or as a free transfer, you might get a move to Madrid or PSG or Barcelona. Nonsense. I mean, I'd have him. I know he's a bastard, but that's exactly what we need. According to ESPN Brazil, talking about what a British club is doing on the Portuguese international. They're not going to give him the wages at 31 years of age. Come on, let's not be dumb. That's not happening. But if it could, I would. Bayern Munich are being linked with Anthony Gordon, as we've discussed. Bro, 1 goal. Martinelli's got 1 Premier League goal. Money the same or something like that. We've been linked with Honest Ahona. To be fair, what is he? 17, 18. He joined Atalanta from Girona. He's done well, but come on, man. That's probably more of a long-term target. 5 players that could leave Arsenal in the summer. Ben White, we know this. Lewis Skelly potentially with Wanyeri could be sold. Martinelli. Gabriel Jesus is an absolute priority to move on. Absolute priority, people. Arsenal have been handed an unexpected boost in their bid to sign Julian Alvarez. Get a load of this guy. We need to sign a left winger. You really think we're going to sign Alvarez? What business does Alvarez have back in the Premier League? Really? I mean, we'll get back. We're definitely going to do the transfer videos. But yeah, Bayern Munich are currently clear favourites to sign Gordon from Newcastle ahead of Liverpool and Arsenal. You can see there. Anyone having Rafa Leao for 50 million? Apparently, AC Milan want 50 million euros for Rafa Leao, who's been offered to Barcelona. He's open to joining, but for now, he's only being considered as an alternative target rather than the club's top priority. Anyone having him? Anyone having Curtis Jones, who, with a year left on his deal, people, it potentially could leave. I remember he was linked with us in the summer. Apparently, we're being linked with Siddiqui of Sunderland. He could cost 45 million euros. Wouldn't be against it, decent player, but I don't buy that. We're also being linked with Andrea Cambiasso, who's also being linked with Manchester City. Yan Diamande is being linked with PSG as well as Liverpool. I know some of you lot fancied having him. Arsene Wenger, what's the father said? He still believes we can win the title. I believe that Arsenal will win the league. Unless Stan Kroenke starts paying off refs. I deeply believe it looks to me like common sense. I like Eze, Odegaard, Havertz, and Madueke attacking. Man City will not make the perfect run. Grandad, you can't fool me. You only like 2 of the 4 names, but I get it. Political matters and whatnot. So yeah, people, we've been linked with Gordon. He's apparently an injury doubt for the game as well, people. Did you not see apparently Cucurella's barber leaked the team news for Chelsea as well? What's this? Arsenal consider surprise move for Premier League title rival. Okay, so it's the same crap in relation to that. And who really cares about transfers right now? Like the market's not open. I don't know, man. I don't know. No point discussing tactics the manager will never implement or the players the manager will never buy. But F no, Liao is a fashionista with pace and a shit rap career. Damn, what did he do to you? Bro, we should bring back Welbeck. Bro, you know what's mad? Welbeck and Xhaka walk into the starting lineup. All elite coaches want Gordon, but fans don't. There's clearly something he has that we cannot see. I want Ndiaye from Everton. True, Ndiaye is more than welcome. I'm tired of all these signings. I'll be so real. I'm ready to just do a project you think and see what happens with MLS, Wanyeri, and Dalman. No, DG. He intends to do a Jorginho on us. We don't want current Bernardo, but the next Bernardo, a player who's fired up, not the one who's chasing a vacation. Go and get them. Go and get them. I don't know, man. Adapt or get left behind, man. All the summer talk right now is poor DG. We need the current roster to be fired up, not have dark clouds hanging over their future in the media/fans. Come on, man. Charles, I love you to bits. But you really think, they can see their opportunity slipping away. Man are injured. Key players are missing. City, the juggernauts on them. And they think these players are going to pay any attention to their futures. Bearing in mind, a lot of these players, whether they're signing for Arsenal or leaving Arsenal or other clubs, bro, you think they're aging and them's not talking. That's one of them things where, it sounds great, but in reality, it don't really make sense. And listen, fuck the fans, including myself. You lot need to go to war with each other and go and bring this thing home. You've got 7 games in all comps. It's out of your control. Champions League looks bleak. You have a chance. You need to win all your Premier League games and hope for a City fuck up and kickstart some momentum of your own. Control the controllables. That's what you don't need to do. You lot have made a difficult task where you was running away with it extremely hard to the point where I'm pessimistic. So we can talk about the fans need this and need that. The players, you don't need to do it. Now, if you play like how you did in the first half and the manager does what he needs to do, there's no guarantee we're going to go win all the games, but that's a level of performance that can generate belief. That's it. You're not professional footballers. You're grown adults. You're playing for one of the biggest club, the third biggest club behind Man United and Liverpool in this land. Allow it, man. I subscribe just to make this one comment. Please respect us. That thumbnail Martinelli in the PSG shirt just stop. We never sign any of your scrubs. Why are Parisians constantly in Arsenal fans' mouths? We got beef with French ops? What the hell's going on here? I'll also dislike your vid just because of that ridiculous thumbnail, brother. It'll give you engagement still, so that's good. But I disapprove nonsense. PSG would never sign Martinelli. Great stuff. Dislike what you want. Suck your mum for a dirty straw. What kind of nonsense, bro? Like, I'm going to hit a dislike button. Men used to go to war, blood. And look what they're doing. I'll dislike your video. Shut up, man. Shut up. Back off. The petition wasn't needed for Madueke. I stand behind that. But man need to stop buying these things, bro. Nothing, bro. But I hate ballers who try rap. Iwobi and Balassi forward to mind. Let man live their dreams, bro. Half the rappers want to be sportsmen. Half the ballers want to be rappers. Let them live their dreams, man. You don't get me to 100K plus. So if we could do KSI numbers, you think I'm not? And we've got an engaged community like that. You think I'm not dropping tracks? Especially I know we can chant. Ganacho and Gittins links, we're not signing them, bro. Hey, Juju, don't show your face. Because we could talk about Chelsea. You know what happened to you, like, innit? You know what happened to you, like, innit? Smash the likes. Oh, this is Raymaker. I don't know what kind of comment he was doing there. I've subscribed just to make this comment and I would hit the unlike button. Shut up, bro. Do you think this is Amazon or some customer service thing, bro? I love the subscribers, but some people, fuck you lot, bro. Fuck. Pardon my French. Hyper appreciate you. But on that note, man, there's no point. Big up you lot. There'll be no watch along for Burnley City, man. Big up you lot. You lot watch the game. I'm going 5-a-side. There's more important things to worry about, innit? Like, it is what it is in that regards, man. So, yeah, man. You lot stay safe. Stay blessed. We link up again tomorrow, man. Appreciate all of you.
Like